Hey everyone. I wanted to bring you guys up to speed on something that's been going on in the background. And, well, some of you may have seen some posts, others may not have seen it, but this will bring it all together. First and foremost, I want to tell you about Whatnot. And if you are interested in anything that's here, if you sign up for whatnot.com, it's actually an app on your phone. If you don't have an account already, you can sign up using my invite code, which is www.whatnot.com/invite/Stu Pluback. If you do use that code, you will get a minimum of $10. It says between $10 and $20, 98% of the people are going to get, I believe. And you could get up to $200 just by signing up and using that code. The nice thing is, when you sign up, I also will get a kickback from Whatnot. All right, what does this have to do with anything and everything? Well, some of you may have seen the post about me requesting any one of you guys, to send me your Whatnot invite so that I could sign up and get you the money. I have signed up on Whatnot. Why? And what is Whatnot? Well, for those of you who are unaware of what Whatnot is, it is an online live auction. Okay, I'm going to pull this down here. It's an online live auction. This is Whatnot here, and it is essentially the 2023 version of eBay, but better. On eBay, you post a picture of something, and then you set it up for auction, and a week later, it's over. Whatnot is a live stream auction. So what you do is you set up a time for your auction. You pull out the item. You can sell your item. You can tell everybody about your item. And then you put it up for auction, and people are allowed to bid, and you set the parameters. For instance, if it goes 30 seconds without a bid, then that's when it sells. So there's always this countdown clock. Yet if people are trying to snipe, the countdown clock will reset, and so on down the line. That way it still goes to the highest bidder. Now, I didn't know a whole lot about Whatnot, so I started going on YouTube, of all places, to learn a little bit about Whatnot. And it seems that Whatnot is best designed for sellers who have quantity of stuff to get rid of. The way that the best example I can give is, imagine going around to all the garage sales in town, and every garage sale you see has got a bag of junk jewelry, nothing that's gold or anything like that, but costume jewelry. Okay. And that bag has 20 or 30 pieces in it, and they're selling that bag for $5. So you pick up that at that garage sale. You go to the next garage sale, and they've got costume jewelry there, however much you want for $5 or whatever. So now you end up buying all these necklaces and earrings and bracelets, for pennies a piece. Now you can open up your Whatnot store and have an auction where you bring out each one of these items and you sell them for $1 or $2. Now, are you making a ton of money off of them? Well, $1 or $2 doesn't sound like much. But if you bought 100 of these and you've only got $10 total invested, and you can sell these for $1, $2, maybe some get $5, $6. Well, yeah, now all of a sudden you're making some serious money. I can understand that. It's a way to move individual pieces in quantity, especially when the auctions are going to be going as quick as they are. Whatnot does numerous things: trading card games, sports card games. You can see all the different categories over here. One of the categories is coins and money. So they have been active with the coin collecting community. Now, there is a difference between collecting coins and collecting paper money. When you collect coins, well, first of all, there is the precious metal aspect, so that has a value. Secondly, there is the quantity version. You can go to a coin shop and buy 1,000 wheat pennies in a bag. I've bought 5,000 wheat pennies from my coin shop in a gigantic bag. But what do you do with them? Well, on Whatnot, you can sell them individually. See how that works? You can sell quantities of stuff. Well, they recently opened a new page. If I click on Coins and Money here, they open the paper money and currency section. And just before this opened, I got an email. And the email was from one of the people at Whatnot saying that they would really like to call me. They'd really like to talk to me. They'd pay me. They do all kinds of stuff because they wanted my advice, opinion. They wanted me to be a seller on here. They really wanted to pick my brain. Pick my brain is a quote from their email. And like I said, I was curious. I get stuff all the time from people that most of it is just a scam, but I understood a little bit about Whatnot. So I gave the guy a call, and after doing my homework, I told him the concerns that I had. Seeing that Whatnot is about quantity, that's where I started to have an issue. Because first and foremost, I'm not a seller. I'm a collector. I'm not somebody who'd be on here selling. I would be the person that's on here buying stuff. But they wanted me to sell. And I'm like, well, I don't really have anything to sell. I don't sell stuff. And they said, well, could you at least, be promoting our product or whatever? And I said, I can't put my name behind the product until I see what the product is. I said, because there are so many unscrupulous sellers on eBay. And I make videos every week about scammers on eBay. The last thing I want to do is back a company that is going to allow scammers on their site. So I said, no, and they said, well, we'll pay you. We'll offer you money. We'll be able to pay you this, and we'll pay. They never said what they'd pay me, but I never asked because I don't care. If they're not going to police their stuff, well, I can't back it for any amount of money. I don't, that's, you're not going to buy me. My channel is about helping new collectors, being open, honest, and making sure that nobody's getting ripped off. And he says, well, there's only 400 of us, so we can't police everything. We're more reliant on people telling us if they see stuff that's fraudulent. I'm like, well, and then I started to bring up names. I brought up names of people that I flat out told them, these people are making up prices. They're selling to their own personal group to get eBay sales, and then they're making videos showing their eBay sales to reinforce the imaginary value that they put on stuff. And I said, that's fraudulent. They're selling useless stuff, and I can't support that. And like I said, he said, well, it's up to our community to self-police. All right. So I did end up signing up for Whatnot. I am not a seller on Whatnot, but I wanted to see how it was going to go. And before the first broadcast, I was actually surprised to see a YouTube video from a particular seller announcing that he was on Whatnot. He was going to be starting his Whatnot auctions. And lo and behold, that was the exact seller that I just got done telling Whatnot about. So I wrote an email to Whatnot saying, it took all of 24 hours for you to put somebody on here that I told you sells garbage. So, no, I will not be selling on Whatnot. I was very curious to see how Whatnot was going to handle paper money, because paper money is not quantity. You cannot have quantity of rare paper money. If it's not rare, it's not worth anything. So how do you sell quantity? And basically what happens is you have certain people, you can see here, Foreign Currency Estate, Buck and Go. This whole thing basically is pretty much my review of what I've seen on Whatnot. There are these things called Buck and Goes. That's what everybody calls them. a note will get put up. The starting bid's $1, and people can bid $1 increments. And whenever the bidding stops, that's what it sells for. I know that there are a lot of people that are selling foreign currency. And I also know that there's not a lot of info on prices for foreign currency. So nobody has any idea of what the actual value of the notes are, but they're selling for $1, $2, $3, $4, whatever, because of the cool picture on there. Hey, great way to collect, and nobody's really getting hurt at that price, right? But once again, I can see somebody buying a bag of foreign currency and then just piecing it out one at a time like that. But that doesn't necessarily do anything for me. I don't collect that kind of stuff. So one seller, like I said, was doing a lot of these buck and goes. Another seller, I'm not going to point out which one it was, but I will. Let's see here. I'm just looking to see if I can recognize the name. I'm not seeing the name, so maybe they were a one and done too. They put up a 2013 star note, and we're telling everybody about 2013 star notes on the duplicate series. And problem is, the star note that they had up there was a 2013 B star, but it wasn't in the range. Yet they were still trying to get $20 for their star. And I put a comment in there. I said, this isn't in the duplicate range. And they swore up and down, oh, yes, it is. Oh, text me your information. Or message me all this other stuff. I'm like, really? I have to prove that you don't know what you're talking about? Anybody that collects those notes knows that the range was 9,600,000 or less, and he had a note that was numbered 13 million. So, unfortunately, I was on the road. I couldn't message him, but as soon as I got home, I did. And no response, of course. I did check out a coin dealer, and the coin dealer dropped more F-bombs than I could imagine. I did notice that many of these sellers basically have music on in the background, and they'll put up an item, and the item that they're putting up isn't necessarily for auction because of the price. I mean, it may book for $100, and they put a starting bid of $120. And everybody stares at it and stares at the seller while they're singing to whatever music they have on in the background. And if it doesn't sell, then they just put in the next item. So some of these aren't auctions. But you guys know who I really wanted to see. And when that one went live, I tried to go on there. And oddly enough, I was blocked. I didn't say a single word. The telecast was supposed to, or the stream went live, and a message popped up on my screen that said, "You've been blocked." So I didn't say a single word. So I didn't get to watch our friend. Or did I? Well, first and foremost, when you're blocked from when you're blocked from one of these, the stream still plays. So I got to see everything I wanted to see. The only thing I didn't get to see is who was bidding. I didn't get to see what was going on in the chat. But I did get to listen to the seller tell anything and everything that they were telling. I got to hear it all. I got to see everything that was being broadcast. Like I said, just didn't get the actual chat. So I got to watch this seller tell everybody that his repeaters, he was able to sell them for $70 a piece, and luckily he was starting everything at face value. So he'd put up a repeater, tell everybody that he could sell them for $70 a piece, and then started at $1, and it would sell for, well, I figure repeaters and radars are worth probably about $20. Most of his, after he told everybody they were worth $70, sold for $11 on average. So about half their actual value, even though he was telling everybody they were worth $70. Learned all kinds of stuff. I learned that he was the #1 seller of fancy serial numbers on eBay. I stress was, because he was thrown out of 3 banks. I found that entertaining. I don't know why he chose to tell that story, but yeah, apparently just having a nice name and a smile doesn't make you a nice person. And if you treat bank tellers poorly and just expect them to do your bidding, regardless of how much of a pain you are being to them, yeah, they will stop selling you singles. I tell you guys all the time, treat your bank tellers with respect. Pay attention to how much trouble you're causing them. Don't be that guy. How many times do I say this? You guys know this. I get my 1,000 singles from one bank and I deposit my singles 200 at a time to other banks. Why? Because I never want anybody at the bank upset at me. Because if that happens, I don't get my singles anymore. And this particular seller didn't have that happen at one bank, didn't happen at two banks. He went through 3 banks where he got thrown out. So I can simply imagine him getting thousands of singles and then coming back the next day and returning the thousands of singles to the exact same bank and then wanting thousands more. It's not how you do it. It's funny because he has said numerous times, well, God will find a way. Well, I think God found a way to get him to stop doing what he's doing. God simply found a way to make sure that he can't scam people anymore because he can't go get any more singles. The irony. Anyway, so yeah, I found it very interesting that the one person I warned them about was the very first person on YouTube to put up something saying that they were going to be there. Made me feel so much better for trying not to do it. I did check out a couple other sites, or a couple other sellers as well. Like I said, one of them was just foreign currency notes, one after the other, no big deal. Another guy was selling $2 bills, regular $2 bills for $4 a piece. Many of the people in the paper money and currency section are selling coins. I don't know why. It's the paper money section, paper money currency. There is a special coin section. Why are you selling coins in the paper money section? Don't know. So I checked through like 4 different sellers, and there was only one seller that was actually selling anything of value and who actually knew what he was talking about. And that one I will name. I've got him down on the bottom here because he was a really good guy. W.L. King. I don't know if it's Will King but it's W-L-K-I-N-G. He knew what he was talking about. I know he's younger than me, but most people are. But he was knowledgeable about the stuff he had. His pricing was acceptable. He was willing to make deals. He wasn't selling garbage. I mean, he had... All right. Like I said, some of the other people were starting stuff for $1 and watching it sell for $11 after claiming it was worth $70. He had stuff that I put a bid in. I put a $110 bid and I got outbid, and I bid $130 and then I got outbid on something and I didn't want to go past that. But I had put $100 bids in on the stuff that he was trying to sell. Me. Okay? So I know you guys trust my judgment on stuff. So yeah, this guy right here, he's a legit seller. I can tell you that. I have not checked out all the sellers, but like I said, I did check out 4 or 5, and all but one were selling the extremely common trinaries. They were selling silver certificates that are worth $3 a piece. Some of them not even in the greatest of shape. They were selling $2 bills. Go to your bank, ask them for $2 bills. They're face value. So I scratch my head about a lot of the stuff that's on here. You do have to, much like eBay, sift through a lot of junk to find the diamond in the rough. But there's a couple out there. I'm sure there's a couple out there. I don't expect to be selling on here. But I may be popping in just to take a look at different things that are being sold by certain sellers. It's always interesting to find out when someone is a cult leader, what they're telling their cult, and then how that applies when you put it into the general public. They just kind of get batted down, end up giving away the stuff that they said was worth ridiculous amounts of money for little to nothing. So, yeah. I mean, I keep thinking about the trinaries that he was selling. He also, he sold Where's George notes. Where's George notes? He sold 5 $1 Where's George notes and got, I think it was $11 or $12. That was the last bid that he said. I couldn't see it on there. He also sold, I believe it was 5 $2 bills that were stamped Where's George. And I don't think he even got face value for those. He was claiming that the $1 bills were from a low block, and maybe they were. He took a note from a low block and stamped a Where's George stamp on there. Now, I don't know if he did that, but somebody did that. If you take a rare note and put a stamp on it, you did not increase the value of that note. You just decreased the value of that note. Yet he was going, not only is it a Where's George, it's on a rare block. It's like, wow, you totally destroyed that. I don't know. There's just, anyway, people were wondering why I was asking about Whatnot. People wanted to know what was going on. Some people thought I'd be selling on there. No, just reviewing it. They wanted to pay me to go on here and endorse them. I can't. Like I said, there are some legit dealers on here. You can find them. But yeah. All right. That's all I got. I just had to share with you guys about Whatnot wanting me to back them and me not selling out. Especially when the first people that I warned them about are the first people that are broadcasting. All right, guys, if you learn anything new, go ahead and hit that like button. If you like what you see and you want to see more, please subscribe. If you are going to sign up for Whatnot, go ahead and use my code like that. Get us both some money. And, yeah, who knows? I mean, the best way to get something is with free money, right? All right, guys, I'll see you next week.